So you want a sports car that's going to give you all the thrills on the track at the local track day. But you want to spend under 200,000. There are many options available, some of them good and some of them not so good. But there is one that is often overlooked, and it is the Toyota MR2. There's so much interesting trivia about the MR2. Number one, it was only sold in South Africa for just 1 year, where all over the world it was sold for multiple years. Two, it was sold for about 230,000. So now it's kind of become a bit of a bargain. But for all those juicy tidbits, before I get into the meat and potatoes of this specific one, let's throw it to the voice in the sky.
Introduced in 1986 in South Africa, the MR2 was a development of the Toyota prototype named SAX, a result of the company's eagerness to experiment with varying engine layouts, drivetrain methods, and overall vehicle balance for performance. The MR2 was originally designed as a fuel-efficient commuter for 2 people, but when this was considered too advanced for conservative buyers, the project was refocused to become an affordable sports car, a modern version of the Toyota iconic Sports 800. The name MR2 stands for Midship Runabout Two-Seater, though it should be noted that the initials MR also refer to the vehicle's layout, mid-engined, rear-wheel drive. Special performance variants of the MR2 are rare. A single all-wheel drive Group B rally prototype of the Mark I MR2 dubbed 222D began development in Japan but was left unfinished with the demise of the race class in 1986. Today, the car resides in the Japanese Toyota factory collection. Mark II MR2s, for a time, could be factory converted to look like the wide-body TRD 2000 GT race cars that ran in Japan's GTC series, but the high cost meant that just 35 were ever built by Toyota Technocraft. Limited numbers of turbocharged Mark III MR2s were built for the UK market, while Japanese buyers could order a version restyled by Italian design house Zagato.
So the MR2 has been on my shopping list for many, many years, but not this one, the beautiful pop-up light Mark II MR2 with the turbocharger. This one over here is normally aspirated and it's got a soft top. And I have to say, I never liked this car. And the frog eye, bug eye front lights didn't do it any favors in my books. But therein lies the lure with this car. It's still not that well liked, which makes it a secret bargain in the classifieds. I've known Nicholas for over 20 years. He's the owner of this car, which is why, Mike, I can lean up against it. I've also asked permission to lean up against it. And he's got a whole bunch of different wheel options that go in this car depending on the mood. It is a proper track day car, this one over here. And I think there is exactly where this car slots in. You see, this one over here is not 100% standard, but it's tweaked in all the right ways. He's got these bonnet lifters over here because the original car doesn't come with it. He's got a strut brace at the back here that's strengthened to give it extra rigidity, and even the bottom of the car is braced up as well. It's also got an aftermarket exhaust by our friends at Profit, and the wheels and tires are interchangeable between semi-slicks and road-going tires depending on the mood. It's got the 103 kilowatt Toyota Corolla GSX engine, which doesn't sound like a lot, but because it weighs under a ton, it gives it an incredible power-to-weight ratio. This car over here is potentially going under the knife in the future, and therein again is another bonus on this car. It's the ultimate project car because you can change it to a Toyota 2ZZ engine, which is the 141 kilowatt Ranex motor, which I think would just... that's my dream car. And then, of course, you can go Honda K-Series, etc., etc. But even in standard trim around the track, it's wonderful. Now, the standard suspension on this car does work relatively well, but I found on the circuit it's a bit too wallowy, a bit too soft, a bit too wishy-washy. And this car here has the track spec upgrade from ISC. And Nicholas went for the top spec one, which has damper adjustment, height adjustment, camber tops, and all of these fancy things to lower the center of gravity and improve the handling. So I've got a confession to make. I am at a racetrack. I'm alone on a racetrack, but the racetrack's also closed for preparation for the new season. So we're basically just doing a slow drive on a really smooth circuit right now. But I have spent a lot of time driving this car and others like it very fast around here. This is the pure sports definition of a sports car. You've got the engine at the back, you've got the roof down. But according to the owner, he also has the hardtop, and with the hardtop on, the chassis is actually more rigid. These ISC coilovers that are installed here does make the car a little bit more bouncy, even over the smooth track over here. So on the road, you'll feel it. I would suggest the standard setup for the road though. Japanese cars of this era really did get a lot right. The seating position, the pedal position, the steering position, the gear shift. Even the sound of this car. It just sounds right. It feels like I'm supposed to be going a lot faster with the roof down. And unfortunately, I had to put the roof up because of all the sunlight coming in here. You wouldn't be able to see me otherwise. Storage inside here is minimal, although there are quite a few little hidden compartments everywhere. So you can put away at least a packet of cigarettes or a box of matches, maybe. I didn't know, but this car actually has a cup holder here. I've spent so much time with the Master Drive MR2s, a company that I do some work for, and there's a cup holder there. I didn't know that. This one's got an aftermarket Sony radio, which is way better than the standard version. Another interesting tidbit is that the visor here has been removed and a custom bracket has been fitted in its place for the GoPro for those track days. The next upgrade on this car, again specifically for track days, is the seat. And although it is a buckety type seat, I've also noticed that when cornering fast, it's not the most supportive. But when it comes to these types of project cars, the lists, they don't end easily. The interior is cocooning, let's put it that way, so tall guys need not apply. But everything you need is in here and everything falls to hand. The ergonomics are good, but it is a little tight. My personal driving hero, Tiffany Dowell, mentioned that this is one of the better handling cars that he's ever driven. So I think we've done enough talking for now. Let's see if Tiff was right and take it for a spin. So on the road, and finally I can maybe stretch your legs a little bit. It's got 170,000 kilometers on the clock, and about 2,000 of that was done in the last year. You see, when this car's not doing track days, it's pretty much parked at home, getting ready for the next track day. You've got no weight on the front of the car. It does feel a bit strange. The steering is incredibly light and nimble, because again, there's no engine there. But what that does mean is that when you do try and go around a traffic circle fast like this, you kind of need to load up the nose a little bit to make sure that the car turns. But when it does turn, it turns. 500 of these cars were brought into the country and available in only 3 colors, silver, yellow, and red. This one, of course, being silver, so you won't find any of the other exotic colors that were available in other markets. Again, another reason why this car will, at some stage, I'm sure, become a rarity. Let's talk about some interesting trivia about this car. Standard, the wheels are actually slightly narrower in front and at the back. This one here runs a square setup on the wheels, so both wheels are 6.5 inches wide front and rear, opposed to 6 inches front, 6.5 at the back. All over the world, the car was sold from 2002 to 2005, but in South Africa, only 2002 models are available. In other markets, you also got a 6-speed option, where this one over here is 5-speed. whether the chicken came first or the egg came first is the debate, but between this and Lotus, similar engine power plants were used, similar technology was used, and you try and find a Lotus Elise for under 150,000, let me know because I want one. Because this is a Toyota, most of the parts on here are relatively cheap, including engine, gearbox, and things like that. But what can be expensive is things like doors, fenders, lights, etc. But thankfully, they are still available from Toyota. Just be aware that that is where the premium costs lie with this car. One of the best things about this car is that it's still one of those rare JDM gems that you can find out that is probably still owned by an old person. And nothing against old people, but y'all drive slowly, which means this car is not going to be abused, unlike cars like the 200SX, 300ZX, etc., that found its way into the hands of guys like me. I've always liked the Mark II MR2, and in fact, it's still on my list of cars to acquire. And although I never liked this one, as soon as I drove it, I fell in love. And that's why this, to me, is one of my recommendations when it comes to the ultimate track day toy.